Purpose Nation, what's good? It's your boy Dejon here, and I got an amazing podcast interview prepared for you guys today. I interviewed Abigail. She has a really amazing story, and you guys should watch this video all the way through. But I want to make this quick little. I wanted to add this quick little video to the beginning of the podcast because I didn't realize that the Zoom settings I had set, it was set to where it only shows people's face, like whoever's talking. So it's gonna switch back and forth for this interview. But for the next one, I'm gonna make sure that it shows both of our faces. So you guys have to bear with me today. I'm so sorry, but yeah, I just want to let you guys know about that. But make sure you watch this video all the way through because like she just drops like a whole bunch of golden nuggets, even some stuff like I'm applying it to my own business just to really like scale and really just like increasing my followers. So yeah, this is a really good episode, and I included all her links down below in the description and also the pinned comment. But yeah, I'll see you guys in a second.
Okay.
All right. Welcome everyone. Welcome to the first episode of the Finding Your Purpose podcast. And today I have Abigail with Abby Toads and Abby Toads on Instagram. And yeah, could you just introduce yourself to the audience?
Yeah, hi everyone. My name's Abby. I'm Abby Toads on social media. And I'm an artist and I like to draw little mushroom creatures just like live in their day to day in their natural habitats and kind of how they interact with nature and stuff like that.
Yes, sir. I like it. And the whole point of like this podcast series is to really showcase just like different creators, like not only how they built up their audience and how they monetize that as well, but also how they found their purpose while doing that. So yeah, Abigail has a really cool story that I can't wait to share with you guys. So yeah, let's hop right into it. So so yeah, Abigail, so like tell us like let's start as far as like I guess like your upbringing, like like where did you grow up at? What were your hobbies? Can you
Mhm.
tell us more about that?
Yeah, so I grew up in a very small town in New Jersey, more in like the north side near Pennsylvania and upstate New York rather than like the Jersey Shore type. And I spent most of my childhood outdoors, whether we were fishing or hiking or like sitting in my mom's garden. My parents really wanted to drill into me like the beauty of the outdoors, and it clearly stuck because that's like all I like to draw now is all my like my inspiration for my art comes from like my childhood. Like a lot of my favorite memories, I try to convey through my art and give people that sense of wonder that I always felt growing up of like even if it's just like a cool tree or rock I found, I'm like there's something just so that made me so happy and peaceful, and I kind of try to convey that feeling in my art.
I love it. First of all, hey, go East Coast. Right now
Yeah.
I'm living in Provo, Utah, but like I used to live on the East Coast, like in like South Carolina, Georgia, Florida,
Mhm.
and it's like just the best time zone, you know.
Yeah.
East Coast is better than the West Coast. And then the second thing I wanted to say is that like I love like I'm with you as far as like on the out like just being outdoors, out in nature, just like
Mhm.
especially out by water, you know, like just like the business of life. It just like it's nice and peaceful and like if I had
Yeah,
the
like
option to like I'd be
mm,
out there in the woods like just
yeah,
24/7,
my
you know.
the best naps I've ever had were sitting on my dad's on the whole this like steel bottom of the boat that we used to have, like the little fishing boat, and like they're
Yeah,
just like rocking against the water, and like they my friends would like bring me outside as much as possible when I was a kid.
man, I love it. I used to do the same thing in Georgia, my old neighborhood, but the mosquitoes will get you. No, no,
Oh
no, 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 no,
yeah.
not mosquitoes. Because
Oh, the horse flies.
yeah, just like the different water bugs that get on you
Hmm.
and everything. But besides that, yeah, I like
Yeah,
going on the
or
boat as well. I'm a lover for my hammock. It's always in the back of my
oh my
car.
gosh, I want a hammock so bad.
Yeah. So question, mountains or beaches?
Ah, definitely mountains.
I like
I get
it.
sick of a beach after like 3 or 4 days, but like I could spend forever in the mountains.
Yeah. So as far as like being out in nature, there's literally like millions of like different plants out there. Why
Mhm.
mushrooms?
Um, Honestly, like I don't know. Like when I was a kid too, I always thought like I never wanted to like touch the mushrooms. Like I always thought they're like because they sprout up out of nowhere. But like as I got older, I appreciated them more. Like just seeing them, I always thought they were kind of cute and mysterious because like they sprout up out of nowhere and they come in all different shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. There's just something like kind of weird about them, and I'm kind of a weird person, so like I kind of relate to them in a way, I guess. And it's easy to imagine them as little creatures just because they come and go so quickly.
Mhm. And I love how they grow in networks too.
Yeah, the
Yeah, yeah,
mycelium
yeah, yeah.
networks,
So
like they're
cool.
actually just like the fruiting bodies of the mycelium, and like I watched like a whole documentary about them on Netflix, and like the mycelium network can like go throughout the whole forest, and it almost like knows you're there. Like a lot of like trees will
Yeah.
communicate through the mycelium, and it just like it makes the forest even more connected and alive, and I think that's like the coolest thing.
Yeah, I didn't know about that till like 2, 3 years ago. I watched um I'm a nerd and also it's weird because like I'm a content creator, but I don't watch like a lot of content, but like the time I do watch content whenever I'm eating my food or whatever, I'll like put a YouTube video or up. But like there's this one channel called Windover Productions, one of those channels, but it was talking about like how trees, your mushrooms, different plants are talking to each other. And let's say one tree of mushroom gets cut down or eaten by something, it like notifies like all the other
Yeah.
like surrounding ones by with that
Mhm.
chemical you're talking about. And like yeah, it's just so cool how plants work, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have like a favorite type of mushroom as far like
I think the inky caps look the coolest. The ink caps with they start to like drip as they age. Like they spread up like white, and then they get almost looks like black pen ink like dropping down as it gets older and dies, I guess. But the
man?
mushlings, they're not really dying. I just make them like the lore behind the mushlings is they live forever because
Yeah.
I don't want them to die off.
Yeah.
But so they just look that way, and I guess they're more imitating what mushrooms look like. But
Yeah.
I definitely think those are the coolest looking.
So quick question. What season do mushrooms appear like the
Um,
most? I think is it like
I
spring or fall? I can't really remember.
I see them in both. I think spring might be better, and I'm a little scared to be wrong on that, and people get back to me. I'm pretty sure they grow. Different ones will grow at different times of the year. I've never actually been foraging myself, so like I kind of just like when I'm hiking, I see them. I think they're really cool, but I don't actually like pluck them. So I feel like a mycologist or someone who forages would know a little better
Yeah.
than me. I'm more just appreciating what they look like and
Yeah.
that end of it.
I'm the same way too, is because like these past 2 years I changed my lifestyle to where I'm like because it's so easy to kind of like get into the groove of things, but like just like taking the
Mhm.
time to like stop and just like appreciate that nice tree, appreciate like you know like the design
Yeah.
of like that flower or that mushroom or whatever.
Mhm.
So
I'm
yeah.
like the most annoying to hike with because I'll stop like every 2 steps. I'm like, oh my gosh, look at this moss right here, and then like feel it, pet it. It's so soft.
So question. So you know what you're growing up, you're fascinated by nature, specifically
Mhm.
mushrooms. What made you think, hey, let me go and make art around this?
Well, I always used like I would draw all the time growing up. Like as soon as I could hold a pencil, like I would draw. Like that was the only thing I would do in my free time while I was watching cartoons. And I was really into Pokemon, and I even like
Yes,
loved making
sir.
my own Pokemon cards. So like I always had like an interest in like just like animals and creatures and stuff
Yeah,
like that. And I would draw like gifts for my friends growing up, and like sometimes I would post them to like my Snapchat story or something, and my
yeah,
friends would be like, "Oh my gosh, you need to sell your art," and I'm like, "I don't. No one's gonna want to buy my art. I
yeah.
don't want to do that." And I was actually like really into math too, so I went to school like college for math and statistics, and I didn't start posting it until like my art until COVID hit because I was working from home. And I had so much free time because, like, once I finished my stuff for my job, I had nothing else to do. So I would draw, and I had it in my mind, like maybe I can make a children's book or something based off of like my experiences in childhood. And I'm like, even if nobody wants to read the book, it would be cool to have something like that to read to my own kids and maybe tell them tales of like it's like relating to like stories from my childhood, but in the form of like a kid's storybook. Um, and I started posting it. I made like an Instagram, and I started posting on Instagram and on Reddit. And my art actually blew up more on Reddit first because I think it's easier for people to see new posts on Reddit. Like if I'm like trending, like they'll sort by new rather than just like sort by what's popular.
Yeah.
So like it would get like big on Reddit, and then I get a lot of followers from there, and then it kind of leaked over into Instagram.
Yeah. I love how it's just crazy how like so many projects came out of the pandemic, even though yeah,
Yeah, it's like the little silver lining, I guess.
yeah.
Like people actually got time to work on what makes them happy and be creative, which I feel like everyone should have an opportunity to do.
Yeah. And like even for me, I like right when the pandemic hit, like even I was like working on my own project. I was working on like I was building like my a software platform for like content creators. I know someone else,
Wow.
they were working on a book. They were like everyone, it gave people a chance to like just like it interrupt the busyness of our lives. And it was like,
Mhm.
okay, like what do I really what do I really want out of life? And also like I got all this free time. Let me like it actually gave us
Yeah.
time to actually go and like try out that hobby, write that book, just like
Mhm.
start
I
allocating.
mean, even if people like even if you're just taking out the commute time to work, that's usually like an hour for most people. So that's like
Mhm.
2 extra hours in the day, and like you're having to get ready for work is like another hour. So they had
Yeah.
so much more time just for in like every little day you get so much more.
Yeah. I thought the East Coast traffic was well maybe up in New York. I know they have some some crazy traffic up there, but like
Mhm.
I didn't realize how bad the traffic was in like Los Angeles or whatever. It's like 2 hour
Mhm.
commute, like one
Oh my
way.
gosh,
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
yeah, it's ridiculous. But yeah, once again, using that same time to go and
Mhm.
just like build like build cool things that you enjoy doing. So I
Mhm.
like it. So you're posting to Reddit, and it kind of like you kind of make like an Instagram as a byproduct of it. What was
Mhm.
like the process behind like that slow growth, like those early I don't want to say early adopters, just like your like how was your community like as you were like slowly growing it?
I think, I mean, it went pretty fast. Like, I feel like when you're starting on Instagram, it's harder for your content to be seen by new people compared to Reddit. Like, you could post something to Reddit, and if people like it, then it's gonna blow up. And obviously, there's like some variation, but I think you have to get a lot luckier on Instagram than Reddit because a lot more people will sort by new. And like, they have like every day there's like hot posts and there's new posts, and if it becomes like hot, then it'll show to a lot of people. When I would post to the art subreddit, which has like I think a couple million followers,
Mhm.
um, and I would get like the top three every time I posted about the mushlings, and I
That's
was like,
insane.
yeah, I was like, wow, these people really like them. Like this is crazy. I guess people really like my art. I don't know,
Yeah,
'cause it was like it felt weird because I'm not like professionally trained. I kind of
yeah.
just learned from drawing Pokemon fan art and like I
Yeah,
don't know, just making projects for friends or whatever.
yeah,
Um, but I got a lot of followers on Reddit, and that leaked over into Instagram, and I guess helped my growth there because that's my biggest platform now. Because once you get like a bigger following on Instagram, I think it's easier to gain more followers as long as you're consistent with your content.
yeah. And with those new followers on Instagram, is that like posting through reels, like the organic posts? Is that like people
Yeah.
sharing your content?
Yeah, it's all organic because I never made like a professional account because I'm not sure I don't want to mess with it because my account grew so quickly and I'm like
Yeah.
I don't know if like switching over to a business will change anything because I hear like varying things from people and it probably doesn't change anything but uh it was just it grew once it started to grow on Instagram. I was there were days where I gained like 5,000 followers like a day for like a week or so and
Insane.
yeah, it was crazy. But once I started doing the animations, then it like really, really took off. Like
Hmm.
I thought it was my goal when I first started posting art on Instagram was to get 1,000 followers in a year, and I think I was at like I don't even know, like 250,000 by the
That's
end of the year.
crazy. Wow. That's crazy. And I love how you just by setting that goal, because a lot of people they're like, oh, I'm just gonna like post, I'm just gonna do whatever, but by not having that goal in place, it just a chance of it happening, it's just like less likely to happen, but just by setting that goal, it just automatically
Yeah.
like puts you in the mindset of like, all right, 1,000 followers, and like once you reach that first 1,000 followers, um, you have that momentum in place, and it's a lot easier to really grow,
Yeah.
like get that nice curve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like I kept growing, so it like really pushed me and like motivated me to keep drawing because I'm like I know posting frequently is important for growth, at least on
Hmm.
Instagram. So I was like, I don't want it to stop, so I just kept
Yeah.
on drawing. But the format for like how I was drawing made it pretty easy. Like I don't do at the time I wasn't doing huge pieces. Like I wanted to make identification posters of the mushlings, so uh like the old fashioned like scientific posters you'd see in like a classroom or something where
Hmm.
they identify each plant or something like that. So I would just draw one mushling at a time, and it made it a lot easier to post frequently without like overdoing it.
Hmm. Yep. Also kind of like keeping, because I know, like, even though this may be your hobby,
Hmm.
if you like do too much of it, it'll feel like a job. You're gonna hate it. Get to you
Mm.
like mental health wise. So that's nice that you kind of built like a system.
Yeah.
Yeah, to make
And like
it.
after I was gonna just do the one mush like the one identification poster and then move on, but then like when I sat down to draw, I didn't want to draw anything else. I
Yeah.
was like, I want to just like expand the mushling universe. So
Yeah.
and here I am a year later, and it's like my full time job.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about, like, I don't know, having like a TV show maybe?
I mean, it'd be
I know it's
awesome.
kind of
Yeah,
out there, but
it's hey, Netflix. If you want to reach out,
yeah. Just
like
pitch to them, you know?
yeah, it'd be cool. I never like. I don't really know how you would even begin to pitch to like something like Netflix or like a TV network, but if they ever reached out to me, like
Yeah.
I'm
That would be so
down.
cool. Yeah, just
Yeah.
throwing out the ideas out there for you, because like like dreams are possible to achieve.
Yeah, that's what I've learned. It's like it's cool. Like I reached out with like when I reached out to Makeshift, that was like a pipe dream to me. It's like I wanted to make plushies of the mushlings because I started selling like prints, and then I was making blankets. And the blankets sold really, really quickly. Like I only stocked about 30 of them, but they sold out within an hour. And I'm like, well, I guess maybe people want to hug the mushlings. And then they got me thinking
Yeah.
like, oh, it'd be really cool to have a plushie of one. Um, and I was looking into like a lot of things of how I should make how to make that possible, and to do it myself would be a lot of work because I tried reaching out to like manufacturers, and it's like a big risk, and even if I went through Kickstarter and it funded, um it still would have been a lot to like if like hundreds of people bought plushies, then I have to store all the plushies and maybe get a storage unit, and it would have been a lot. So I was like looking into other ways to make them, and then I found Makeshift. And Makeshift, like all they do is work with like content creators to make plushies. And I was like, if they reached out, if they got back to me with it, like that would be insane because it makes the whole process a lot easier.
Yeah.
And then they actually did get back to me, which was crazy because they usually worked with people that had hundreds of thousands of followers or like millions of followers, and
Hmm.
I only had like 10,000 at the time. But they like I
That's
told them
crazy.
about my sales, and they're like,
Yeah.
they saw the potential, and I was like, oh, this is amazing. So that was
Yeah.
that was a really great move for me.
I like it. So with Makeshift, is it like almost like drop shipping? Like you
Yeah.
buy and ship out as the orders come in?
So they're actually like a crowdfunding platform. They're similar to Kickstarter, but they will design like I send them a picture of what I kind of want for the plushie, and then they'll design, manufacture it, promote it, and ship them out to everyone who buys them in these like 21 days that the campaign is live.
Hmm.
So my only job after that, after like confirming what like the plushie's good, is just letting my followers know that hey, there's a plushie out, and that's the most fun part, like because
Hmm.
you basically get to play with the plushie as like you're filming it and taking pictures, um, and it just makes everything so easy. Like
Hmm.
I'm so glad that they got back to me because I feel like that's like the best way for a content creator to make like I guess like merch because you don't have to worry about spending the time yourself on
Hmm.
that end of it. You can focus on the content and like creating rather than the I guess logistics.
Hmm. I like it. So with Makeshift, that's like because I was going through your highlights, and I'll see your link in your bio, kind of
Mhm.
going through like everything you offer. And I saw that you offer, I think, was it like uh sweaters, jackets, I think
Yeah.
t-shirts, blankets, like stickers,
Yeah, I have a
also
lot
on
of a
Etsy.
lot
Yeah.
of stuff.
Like a
But it's
whole.
a lot of it's like all from like different places. Like the prints, there's very little of my products I actually stock myself because don't have a storage unit. I just have my
Yeah.
basement. So like I'll stock the blankets, but a lot of them, a lot of like the shirts and the prints will come from printing partners, and that's all
Mhm.
drop shipping. So people will just like buy it, and I just like kind of confirm the order through Etsy. Um, and then it ships out. But Makeship is a little different because it's like a limited edition campaign, so it's only live for those 21 days, and then I think it makes it a little more special though because they're like the
Yeah.
exclusive mushroom plushies that you only got during this time, and people can like collect them, I guess.
Yeah. Also like how I think yeah, I was going through your stories and how like some of the plushies, especially like the mushroom ones, you like tap on the top of it and it kind of like goes down. I'm
Yeah,
just
it
like, yeah,
bounces.
yeah.
Yeah, they're really
I
nice.
like that.
They're really nice quality. Like I was so impressed when I got the first one because I thought it was going to be smaller too, and then I got it and it was like this big huggable mushroom. And I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, this is amazing! I can't wait to
Man.
show people.
Have you ever thought about maybe adding stories to them?
Oh, that would be cool. Like
I don't know,
like
or maybe like a little quote or something. I don't know.
yeah,
Just like
yeah, no, it would be cool. I tried to do it for the when the Inky Cat plushie came out. I did like a little description on the page, but um, it would be cool to have like a tag or something maybe with it that like has his little backstory and a birthday or something.
yeah.
Kind of like a Beanie Babies used to do it.
Yeah. So, before we go further to that, can you tell me more about like your animation and also how you got into TikTok as well? Because I remember you were talking about like doing like just like uh, instead of doing like photos, doing go more prints, going
Mhm.
more towards like animations. Can you tell me like about the
Yeah, I mean,
process behind that?
it was really convenient because like I think Instagram's really pushing like Reels and TikToks, but like huge. So like the video format of stuff is really important nowadays.
Mhm.
And like as I was getting more comfortable drawing, I feel like I got because I learned that learned as I went. Like I the more I drew, the more I always like kind of pushed myself to the next thing of like, oh, maybe I should try. I started with watercolor and then I pushed to the Copic markers, which were very expensive, but
Yeah.
like it was a lot of fun to use them. And then I'm like, you know, it'd be cool to do like work digitally. So I got an iPad, and I thought I saw you could like animate through Procreate, like just like
Hmm.
little things. And I was like, it'd be so cool to like bring them more to life by making a move. So I watched like a couple of YouTube videos on
Yeah.
animating in Procreate. Uh, and I focused more on doing like small movements because then I can make like a small loop is easier to look and make it look good rather than like this full like if I wanted to do like a 5 minute short of like telling a story that would take me weeks or months to do.
Hmm.
But like if I focus on just like a 3 second loop that can go over and over, I can make like the whole thing look like really pretty, and it's basically just like a moving drawing. So
Hmm.
it didn't take it took a while when I was learning, like it took like 50 hours to do my first animation, which was like a 4 second loop because I was like I figured out like better ways to make a move rather than just like frame by frame. You start with like
Yeah.
the start of the animation and then the end of the animation, and then you fill in the spots between, rather than like moving it little bit by little bit because then it's like more jagged.
Hmm.
But I learned as I went, and now I like it more than just regular drawing, and I feel like I'm gonna focus mostly on animation from here on out.
I like that, and I love how you use YouTube as a resource to like learn new
Oh
skills.
yeah, that's
I
what I
kind of
do like
yeah,
every day.
I kind of did the same thing as well. I was going through like my journey as well. Like go like how do I if I wanted to do something, I was not only that, but like I was always improving myself. I was
Hmm.
asking myself like, okay, how can I take my content to the next level? And just by me doing that, being able to go and build up like just building
Hmm.
up these valuable skills, which also helps me as far as like making my content better
Yeah.
for my viewers. So yeah, I
Mhm. Yeah,
absolutely
YouTube's
love
like
that.
great for that. I feel like anyone can learn. It's like the basic. You can learn the basics off of YouTube, and I think like obviously there's classes that you can pay for, but like you don't have to go to school if you don't have the resources to go to school for something. Like YouTube is a great start for
Oh
anyone to
yeah,
use and find. Like I learned how to use Procreate on it. I learned how to animate, and then you just kind of take it from there.
yeah. But for all of my digital stuff, I love using Canva. Canva is so
Hmm.
nice and convenient.
Oh
You see, that's
yeah.
what I use. I'm kind of like I'm a bit more. Is that like the laziest person's like platform as far as like making? I don't know.
It's like
Yeah,
Canva's more for like you use a lot of graphic design stuff on that, right?
yeah.
Mhm.
But they are starting to add like a video on there. We can make like reels and everything,
Oh,
just
that's
like
so cool.
animated. Yeah, so yeah, it's evolving. So who knows?
Mhm.
Might be able to make
Yeah.
make some animations on there.
I know there's like
So
different ways to animate, but I do more of the I guess like a more traditional way where it's like frame by frame rather than I know like there's you can animate in like Illustrator or maybe not Illustrator or like After Effects or something where you like you're just actually moving the object like just from one end to the other through like programming rather than sliding it bit by bit, but I don't really know how to do that side of the animation.
mhm.
Um
So, so as you're going throughout your journey, what setbacks did you come along the way? You did mention about like as far as like making like plush and like different types of merchandise, like just like um supply chain problems, you know, like finding like a good partner for that there. What
um
other setbacks do you come across?
I guess yeah, finding people is probably the hardest part. If you're trying to make like quality goods to sell, because like you have to, and you have to have enough money to invest in like samples and like figure out which places you want to go. But once that was all settled, it was like pretty smooth sailing because
Yeah,
uh, I was fortunate enough for people like as soon as I had a shop update, like that I had enough people that were interested in buying stuff that I made my money back like the first day.
amazing.
So yeah, it wasn't like too stressful on that part. The I guess like manufacturers for goods is the hardest thing. But I really didn't have once makeshift got back to me. I didn't have to like risk stuff with the plushies, and I think that would have been like the hardest thing is if they didn't get back to me, I would have had to do the Kickstarter and figure out a storage unit for everything and ship them all out myself. But
Mhm.
I had so much more time because makeshift like worked with me on it, so I was
Yeah.
really lucky.
Man, yeah, that's incredible. And I guess
Yeah.
as your audience continues growing, have you come across like maybe like any other I guess like roadblocks or like setbacks as far as like just with like scale, you know? Maybe do you have like a team?
Oh
Like
no, yeah, because I didn't. I mean, most of the stuff that I have myself, I can handle like a lot of the Etsy orders. Like if I don't do the prints myself or the shirts myself, and that's what people buy the most. So, like as soon as people put in an order, I just gotta like type a couple things in Etsy, and then I'm like, it's like good to go. Like I don't have to do anything else for the order. So I haven't
Mhm.
I haven't needed a team yet, but um occasionally like if I release like a new product, my boyfriend will come over and help me ship out
Nice.
stuff for the day, just so like they go out on time. But
Yeah.
um our last holiday season was actually pretty rough, so like I'm sure like this season's gonna be way worse because I have 300,000 more
Yeah, a little bit
followers.
bigger,
So
yeah.
we'll see how Christmas goes, but um I think it's pretty doable for now since I don't have most of the stuff stocked myself.
hmm That's a good to hear that you have
Yeah.
all those just like that infrastructure in place. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Helps you go to bed a lot peacefully, you know.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
a lot of artists will make the prints themselves, and I think you make more money that way. But honestly, like I'd rather just spend the time, like I'd rather make less per print and then spend the time drawing rather than constantly having to ship out orders.
Yeah. So so I guess like as you were growing this community, at at what point did it kind of like you get like what's the way I want to say it like how did you find like your purpose as you're growing throughout this community? How's it brought like fulfillment and joy into your life?
I mean, I really like drawing. I've always enjoyed it. It always made me happy. And I was just saying the other day that um, even if I don't get a chance to retire, I feel like I could just do this the rest of my life and be happy and like
I
not
love it.
feel the need to retire because I care about like my art and I'm like attached to the mushlings. So I'm like I want to just like expand their world and
Yeah.
make them feel more real. I don't know, like it makes me happy to that, and it makes me even happier that like my art makes people happy. Like seeing the
Yeah.
comments on some of my posts, like just makes me emotional because I'm like, I can't
Uh-huh.
believe I made you feel this way. Like they say like it brings them a sense of peace and happiness even if they're having a rough day. And I'm like, that is the
Mm-hmm.
sweetest thing. Like I can't. I'm just doodling over here, and
Yeah.
it's making you guys happy. Like I don't know, it's really cool because I the thing I want to do with my art is kind of share the feeling of like peace and wonder that I felt as a kid when I was in the woods, and it seems to be working. So
Mm-hmm.
it's really cool.
I love it, and I love asking that question because when I back when I was at my peak at YouTube, I was actually depressed, like
Mhm.
I made it, but I was like
Mhm.
I didn't feel anything because it was just numbers on my screen just going up.
Mhm.
So when I started talking to my audience and realizing that like, yo, like people they're watching my content because they're going through like maybe like a bad breakup, maybe they're doing drugs, or maybe like they didn't feel like being on the earth anymore, just like different types like range of
Mhm.
emotions by them like watching my content and them telling me like, hey man, like your content helped me go through this rough patch, like
Oh,
yeah.
that's
I was like
that's
shit,
the
yeah.
nicest thing.
Yeah, so that's why I love asking that question to
Mhm.
different influencers, just kind of like seeing like how is that moment for you as far as like just like
It's unreal.
yeah.
Like I don't know. It's just so cool. Like it makes me want to make more art because I'm like, well, I want to help
Yeah.
you more, so I gotta keep posting, I guess.
Yeah, I know exactly how that feels. So what are your future plans as far as like expanding besides the TV show?
Yeah, maybe
The
one day.
Netflix.
Well, actually, right now I'm working on a board game with my boyfriend because he's like very into game design and is like always wanted to. He's been like making board games for like years, but we never actually like launched anything. So like we started working on a mushling board game. So like now I'm doing all the art for that, and we're hoping to launch it around like December. So like I'm really excited for that because I feel like it's gonna be so cool to like we went to just get involved with like the board game community because we love board games and we went to like PAX Unplugged last year and
Yeah.
it was so much fun. And I think it'll do really well because like we're very picky about our board games and I feel like this is like we've played so many and we like kind of like took elements from like what we liked and what we didn't
Mhm.
like and um just made something that we have so much fun playing and I
Yeah.
love doing that. I mean, I love making the art for it because it's like it's really like coming together and it's like wow, this is starting to feel like a real game.
Yep. Yep. I know that it was just like having the like you're sitting in bed at night, just like looking up at the ceiling and you have that idea and then like it's like actually right there in front of you, you're able to touch it and everything. Like it's
Mhm.
it's, it's just such a like crazy feeling. And it's even better
Mhm.
when you look back at it and you're like, whoa, like I did that, it's just
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, such a great feeling. What type
Mhm.
of board games do you like do you guys like playing?
Yeah, so we put like he has like a whole collection. We play like anything from like social deduction games to like I don't know, just like there's like Catan and like which is like a
Hmm.
kind of like a more like popular one, and then it can go. We get like from like more simple ones to like more complex ones.
Yeah.
Party games. Um, I don't. Do you play any board games or?
So I like I'm lame, I'm basic. Monopoly, sorry.
Okay, yeah.
I'll do some Uno.
Mhm.
Um
So this is
I'm
like
a
a little. This is like I guess more like in it's more I guess into like the niche board games I guess than
yeah.
like the standard ones like Monopoly, but even niche it's probably like more like to the board game community I feel like it's like I guess and we're trying to like kind of like bridge the gap between simple games and like more
Mhm.
complex board games so like a lot of people could enjoy it. um I guess it's a little similar to Catan where you're like kind of like collecting resources um around the map, but it's more like you're collecting points and then you're using the mushlings to help you move out across the map to get those points, and then the first person to 10 points wins.
I
So
like it.
each mushling has like a special ability that'll help you move around the map, and it's you're like expanding your mycelium network. So
Mhm. I love
yeah,
it.
it's very like
That's
themed
fine.
around like mushrooms and nature.
Yeah. And I like how you said it's gonna be in between like simple and complex, because like
Yeah,
that's
like
one thing
we
I
want
was
like everyone to be able to enjoy it. Like we want like people who are really into board games to like see like the strategy in it and like be like, wow, this isn't just like some simple game. Like there's actually like some depth to this, and there's the like maybe it's like easy to learn, but then like hard to master, kind of.
hmm. Yeah, because I tend to be it took me a while to learn Secret Hitler. I just
Yes,
learned
okay.
that
I wanted to.
like
I was trying to say we play that game a lot, but like I'm like I don't know if I should mention the name of this, but
man. Oh no, you're good. We keep it a G. The G over here, but like I even though I'm only 21 years old, but like I'm already starting to be like an old dog. Like I'm having a hard time as far as like learning new tricks, learning new like board games,
Mhm,
especially like the complex ones.
mhm.
I just played Dungeons and Dragons for the first time, I think
Oh, okay, cool.
6 months ago, and that one there was like a really hard one to really like pick up, but
Mhm.
I got the hang of it now. But like yeah, just like um that's good that you kind of like identified that like within like the board game community, just like having something towards not too simple, but like not too complex, but kind of in the middle towards like interesting, fun, and
Yeah, like we want it
overall
to be
interesting
like
play.
easy to learn, but then like but there's a lot of strategy to how you can use your mushling cards, and like the art's really cute. So like even if people there's some players that are probably gonna jump into it, have no idea what's going on, but they still want to like have a good time and then learn the tricks as you play.
Yeah, I like it. So do
Mhm.
you plan on doing like a in-person meetup? I know like some influencers still they'll meet up all their fans at like a coffee shop or a park or whatever. You have
I mean, I
a
don't know about that. I think we're gonna do. I'm gonna do a like what's it called? Like
meet and greet or
like a
something?
tent or something at I'm going to like a mushroom festival in Pennsylvania like this fall, and I want to do like
Yeah.
more like art convention stuff. So like have like uh a tent with like all my art, all my stuff for sale. Um, so I guess like if people, I'll post about it on my social media, and then if people want to go to the festival, then they can meet me there.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah.
And besides that, you have like any other plans? Like let's say like when you reach like 1 million followers, 2 million, 3 million, when that time
Um,
comes, you have like any like plans as far as like other things you want to do with the brand?
Um, no, not at the moment. I mean, most of the stuff that I've made in the past is just stuff I want for like myself. So like I've made like shirts 'cause I'm like, oh, I want the mushlings on a shirt, or I want a mushling poster on my wall, so I'll make it, and then like I hope people will buy it. So then it like moved on to plushies because I'm like, I want to hug a plushie, and then
Hmm.
I looked into ways for that. I mean, if I would love a video game because like I'm a really big gamer, and like I think after the board game comes out, then I'll have my board game, and then I think a video game would really cool. But there's a lot that goes into developing that,
Oh
so
yeah, and the maintenance of it, the support,
yeah.
yeah.
So I think it would be really cute, like to like be able to take care of the mushlings and almost have a, like a Tamagotchi esque
Yeah.
game or something. I don't know.
I can see it being a game on one of the Nintendo products, like maybe
Mm,
on the Switch or something. Yeah,
yeah.
just going through all the levels.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah. But hey, like I said, anything a man or a woman can like think of, like you can definitely turn into reality by just like setting a goal and just going for it. You know, you'd be surprised as far as like how far you can go as far as like turning that dream into reality.
mhm.
What else was I going to? So if you could do everything all over again, what would you do differently?
Everything. Let's see. I don't know. I feel like everything went so smoothly, and I got like so lucky with how quickly my account grew, and like I just kept on making what I liked, and I think if like as long as I like as long as someone's making what they enjoy, then the right people will come and follow, and I think that's
Mhm.
like the most important thing. That's what I have always done, and I feel like it was very rewarding because considering like how much my account grew. I think I would just keep everything the same, honestly. Maybe
I like it.
I don't know, like I went to school for math, so maybe I didn't really need to do that. My
Yeah.
goal now is to let that bachelor's degree collect dust while I animate.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think I wouldn't have done anything different. I think I just continue making what I like, and I'll see where it goes.
I like it. And one thing I like about you and your story is that like let's say if you wanted something, you just went out there to go get it. So for example, you and your boyfriend like board games, right?
Mhm.
you guys just
Yeah.
went and you're in the process of like going out there and making it, like you're having
Yeah,
fun, you're actually enjoying it, I
yeah,
love that.
it's surprising like how easy. I mean, not I guess not easy, but like it's like we're fortunate that we were able to get the opportunity to like try to do it in the first place because like our parents were really supportive of it. So like that was really nice, and I know not everyone gets that chance, but if you someone like I don't know if anyone's listening and has a chance to do it, just go for it because like you never know what could come out of it.
Hmm.
Like it's worth trying, and that's what I was like. My boyfriend was like I would kind of like tried to convince him too. I'm like, then now's the time. Now's the best time. If we're gonna make a board game, we should try it now before
Yep.
when anything's holding us down or like back. Like we just gotta go for it because we got an idea and I feel like we can make it really good and it'd be really
Yep.
fun. So let's
I
go
love
for
that
it.
mentality.
Yeah.
I like it. And then my final question for you is, if you could do one thing that makes you happy for the rest of your life, what would that be?
I don't think I'm doing it. I mean, I honestly
I'm
like I
saying.
used to think like there's nothing I could do for work that I'd rather just like be able to play video games all day or
Yeah.
like I don't know, just not have to work like that. There's no job that I could feel like it's not work, but this doesn't feel like work. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm drawing what I love, and I'm not even like I'm not having to do commissions. Like the closest thing I have to commitment is working on the art for the board game because like that's what my boyfriend's doing. But like it doesn't that even doesn't feel like work because like once I'm working on it, I'm like this feels like this is such a cool project, and I think
Hmm.
that's what I'm most excited for the future because I think people are gonna love it.
I love it. You're just living life to your fullest,
Yeah,
I
seriously.
like it. But hey, Abigail, thank you for once again showing up for this for being my first guest for the Finding Your Purpose podcast. Like just like a whole bunch of gold nuggets within this episode right here. And for the people like listening or watching this, I will have all of her links down below in the description down below. And yeah,
Thanks
that's
for
pretty much it
having
for the
me.
yeah. But hey, like once again, thank you, Abigail, for coming today, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. See ya.